Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for Wednesday, November 13th, 2013. So today is 11/13/13, if you want to abbreviate it that way. I have so much to say today. I'm going to try to parse it out over 2 or 3 days, or maybe even make a separate video. But the first thing that I want to take a look at is yesterday's report, NFIB Small Business Optimism Index. Let's take a look at what that report looked like. Prior was 93.9, consensus was 93.3, and the actual was 91.6. And they're calling it down a sharp 2.3 points. So that is a little depressing. And the other one that I wanted to bring your attention to is the Red Book. And Red Book is takes a look at chain store sales, and prior was 3.8 year over year. So this time last year, and it's at 3.3%. So it's a positive 3.3%, so that's a good point, but it's a little weaker than what we would normally expect. Okay, so now for today, nothing really market affecting that's planned to be announced today. But again, what's happening in Washington with Obamacare, or the affordable health care, is pretty scary in the way that it could affect the economy. So, and we can take a look at that in a different way, but first, let's take a look at what's going on across the Pacific. And over in Asia, it was a pretty solidly negative day. Do we have the same going on in Europe? Yes, not quite as solid a negative day, but pretty negative nonetheless. A good, it's solid enough to take note, I would say. If we were to jump over and take a look at our futures, we are slightly down today here in the U.S. Gold is up a tad, still below 1,300, and oil must have taken a digger yesterday. It's at 93.3. Now, what I wanted to look at here was the ES. Let's take a look at that chart. Now, what are you seeing here? Are you seeing a little bit of resistance here at 1770? It boing, 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 boing. It's not been able to close. It had a high of 1774, but we have not had a close above or open above the 1770 mark. All right, so if we take a look at where our next resistance level is here, we could be looking at a resistance here around 1700 in the past, could end up acting as support. So let's draw a little line in there. Draw a price level right here. Price level 4, that means there's a bunch of other price levels in here. So let's delete all drawings and we'll start over again. Okay, this should be price level 1 then. There we go. Alright, so right around there, and then we have this level here, which is at 1770. So we're probably going to play around in here for a while if these historical prices tell us anything. Of course, we just don't know, but this is a great visual here to let us know that, we have a little bit of resistance there at 1770. These two little boxes are new here. This is the IV percentile. So what this is doing is looking back over the last year and looking at the current IV of the underlying or the implied volatility, and it's saying that it's at 26% of its 1 year history. And I'm going to do a lot more talking about that later, but I got that from Tasty Trade, so it doesn't say anything about a copyright or anything, so I'm going to include that in the text for today's video. I'll include that code, and it's just a cut and paste into the studies here. So if you go to Edit Studies, and all you have to do is just click on the new, and then take that code, and first you want to get rid of this, and then you just paste. I don't know if I still have this in my paste or not. Yes, I do. And you just paste it in there. And that's all you have to do. It will tell you if there's something wrong with it. But here it is, IV percentile. It's looking back over the last 252 bars, which is a year of weekdays. Alright, the other one is the price percentile, which is what percentage of its same thing, only the price over the last 30 days. And I don't even know how to use that one yet, so I'm not going to put that code in there until I can figure out really what this thing is telling me. So that's going to be your gift for today, I guess you might say. So you'll find this on my charts from now on, and it's only going to be on this chart because this is a daily chart. If I threw it over here, I'd have to say, I'd have to change the parameter to 52 bars because it would be, say, the last year, and theoretically you'd end up with the same number. I'm not sure. I don't know, but I'm just going to keep it here on the daily chart. It's the same thing that you see here on my in playlist, and I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not, but I've had it here for a while. When they put this indicator in there new, I think I picked it up on one of the chat rooms up here under seminars. I think it was one of the swim lessons that I picked it up in, and I thought it would be a very handy indicator to let you know where a particular underlying stands with its implied volatility at any given point in time. Alright, so didn't do anything yesterday, and we're doing pretty good here. I'm not concerned about anything. I'm going to close LinkedIn today, and gold is not doing too hot, but maybe it's going to recover a tad today. And then in my regular joint account, over the last couple of days I bought a bunch of NAVB because it's really down. It's sort of a darling of mine, and at $1.56 a share. I think overall, as I bought into this, because it's not a high volume stock, so I stretched it out over a period of days, and it's really not part of our trading strategy or anything else in this particular account. It's just something that I thought that I would load up on because the price is really down right now. I still have a lot of confidence in the particular product that they're coming out with, but here it is right here. So you can see that it's been down a while. Okay, so that's what is in play right now. We won't ever really discuss this. I like to keep it closed, but it keeps popping open. So actually this account, I really don't care about it for the purposes of this video at this time until I apply some sort of option strategy in there. All right, we're going to go and take a look at the A+ list and just get right into our scan here and keep this video down to a decent amount of time. Now, why do we have these? Well, they may be because of a dividend. So they've already subtracted that dividend from the price of the stock well before the open. So let's start out with our old friend Apple and see what happened yesterday. Okay, we're still in this downward trend right now, even though the 50 is moving up, but definitely the 9 is moving down, and price, these highs, are having a really hard time. Where is it headed? I don't know. See, right now it's IV percentile. It's 3% of its normal IV percentile. And you can get that a little bit more data here over on the trade tab. And we look at today's option stats. And there's all sorts of good information here, and you can pick up Don Kaufman talking about this. He gets very excited about this stuff. And in the swim lessons. But you can see that it's at 3% of its normal IV percentile. So the 52-week high is 59.9%, and the 52-week low is 13.3%. So that's where that number comes from. I think I might have covered this sometime in the past. Okay, so currently it's at 21, the low is 13.3, the high is 59.9, so that's, percentile is calculated a little bit differently than average or percent of range. Okay, so because number of days at a particular value is calculated in there too. All right, I'm no mathematic whiz, so I probably should stay away from that, from trying to explain exactly what percentile means. All right, so going back to our chart, are we seeing an opportunity here? We are seeing what appears to be, and I could put a trend line in here, what appears to be a downward trend line at the moment, even though we're still in an upward trend here. I would say that the MACD here on the weekly is going to be rolling over here. The moving averages, the regular MACD already has. So I think that Apple may be in a major pullback of sorts. Let's look at Amazon. All right, a little worried about this particular Amazon trade. We have to see where it ends up. And here over the last, I think, 30 days, we are seeing a negative 17. I think that's negative. It should be negative over the last 30 days. I don't know. Maybe it's still positive. I'm not sure. I could change this too. I want to change that. Price percentile over the last 30 days. I think they were using 5 days. That's what the great Tom Sosnoff was doing. So over the last 5 days, we're down $2 and 2.61% over the last 5 days. So if it's over 5%, it'll turn red. If it's over 5% down, it'll turn red. If it's over 5% up, it'll turn green. As long as it's between plus and minus 5%, I believe it stays gray. All right, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. BIDU We're looking for a hook down. We actually kind of got one here, but I'm getting, well, get a lot of confirmation here for a bear call on this. So I'm going to put an alert here. And I just want to see what's going to happen today. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily going to jump into that, but I want to see what's going to happen if we move down. All right. Maybe we can slip a quickie in this week. Okay, it's Celgene. We had resistance here. We were hoping that this would act as support. It looks like it broke support, and it looks like it's going to act as resistance again. I don't know. I'm going to do some adjustments of my A+ list and maybe expand things a little bit and change my thinking a tad bit on sticking to the same underlines over and over and over again. Maybe changing them and maybe having a secondary list so that we can have more trades. The more trades that you have, the more opportunity you have for winners, or at least the more you can make. All right, not seeing a trade here though. We're in conflict. It's not as clear to me as BIDU, just because of the price action yesterday. So I remove this. I'm not trusting. No, I think I'm going to delete it. We'll just delete it. I think that the market might be giving us some sort of change. All right, so we have $1 dividend here, and that's why that's down $1 for CF. What am I seeing here? What am I seeing? I'm seeing a pretty solid move here on CF. I didn't want to chase it here, so we're going to wait for the next one. I haven't had a whole heck of a lot of luck with CF, and it's probably not a good one to be on the A+ list, so I'll be re-evaluating that. Let's see. Okay. Chipotle, we had an alert go off. I didn't do anything. Probably a good thing. It still appears to be consolidating. It's in the 6% of its IV percentile. That means premium is like gone. So not a good candidate. Google's at 11.32%, or rounded off, but it too appears to be consolidating. We're getting a little out of consolidation here. Goldman, I'm probably going to take them off my list. Not seeing anything there either. LinkedIn. This is 39%, but yeah, LinkedIn, we're going to be closing today. So I'm going to move this over and wait for our next entry. MasterCard. Definitely at a point of resistance here. Things 47%, so this is juicy. You know, anything 50% or higher, of course, is going to have a lot of premium in it. So it's juicy. Yeah, it is. It's a tasty trade, I guess you could say. I know Tom would. Yeah, not seeing anything here. Just really, these patterns are, everything seems to be at a definite resistance. This is an anomaly from earnings. So we might be looking at a market reversal here. Okay, so Priceline had a nice move here. Do we have any? I might consider closing that. I might consider closing that today if we get a move down. So I'm going to put an alert in here. And keep an eye on it for today. I'm going to move this up a little bit higher. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, yeah. I got a bail alert on Priceline. Okay, we are in our SPX trade. Looking a little shaky based on what we looked at on the ES. Alright, so I'm questioning here whether this is going to act as support, and of course it did not. So this is a ridiculous thing to have on here, so we're going to get rid of it. And it just kind of blew through, and I had another bad day yesterday. So this is good enough for a trigger here. So I'm putting an alert there. We got 50 rolled over. We got the stochastic above 55. It'll probably going to hook down. We have momentum way down on the daily, momentum crashing on the weekly. Looks like Tesla is headed south. So maybe we can jump in on that and get a quickie out of that one too. And then Visa should have their dividend today, 40 cents. A lot of consolidation here. Not interested in that one at this time. Let's go back and take a look at Tesla again. Go away. Okay, so it's at 50% percentile of its last year. So it's probably increasing would be my guess. Okay, so that's it for today. We have two alerts, BIDU and Tesla. We have a bail alert on Priceline, and I plan on closing LinkedIn today. Amazon, I probably should put a bail alert on it too. We'll see how that works out though. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.